All right, I've dug out my old EFDelta. Old, it's relatively new. Haven't had many chances to use it, but I've got it out now. I have in my van a marine charger. I keep it back here behind the front seat of the van, and I'm just trying to wait for it to sync up and see if it will do some minor charging on my battery bank. Of course, with all these solar on here, I'm rarely in a position where I'll need this, but it's always nice to have this available. And it looks like, yep, I see the green check. I hadn't, this might have been there for a while. The green check, which means it is now charging my battery bank, my 7 155 amp hour batteries. Like I said, this compared to the 1,000 amp hours of battery, this is a very, very minor amount, and I'd be using this mostly for emergency situations. But I thought I would just try it out, watch it sync, because some of the old chargers or lithium chargers I've used, much cheaper than this one, they don't really do this well. They will sync sometime, and sometime I'll get an error. I can't recall what the error is, but it will get that error several times before it actually syncs. This one appears to have synced right away, considering the cost and the very, very good reviews. Despite the cost of this, I assumed it would do very well. And it says I'm putting 307, 310 watts, 38 watts. It's just clicking, so it is outputting. I'm just gonna sit here and let it work for a while. I'm at 100%, since I am probably at about 12.7, 12.8 volts, and that is with no sun. Well, there's a little bit of sun, but not very much. Very little sunshine, and I haven't even dropped the panels on the side yet to reveal the 320 amp hours on either side. It's just so cloudy, it doesn't really matter. And I've always got the 600 or so watts of solar on top, so it's not like I'm ever sort of running out. So I'm just gonna let it sit here and work. And the display will go off. I assume it's a minor technique at least not taking the 0.000 watts of the display, so I'll just double check and make sure it's running. I'm at 99%, so it's taking down 1% in a little time I've been on video. And like I said, the sun will pop out in a minute, and this won't even be necessary. But I just wanted to test it just in case. I know I can add a little bit of power to my batteries. But most of the time, what I'd be using this for is an emergency situation where my batteries are down, and then I can get through a night. Not with an AC, but I can get through a night, doing some basic stuff. I could also run my 700 watt microwave that should be arriving tomorrow off of this if need be. But in the case where this is necessary, then I'd be sort of an emergency situation. I'd probably be eating cold cuts out of the refrigerators I've got in there at that time, so I wouldn't be worrying about any hot food. All right, I will check on this later, and I'll terminate this video with my judgment on whether or not it's functioning, and there's about a 99.99% chance it's going to be functioning. So if I end the video here, you know it's done its thing. I'll talk to you later. As you can see, it's been about 2 or 3 hours later. This was down to 19%. I just took it out of the van. As I showed you before, I had it connected to this marine charger. That's a marine charger. I don't know why I bought a marine charger, but it works fine. And I use it to subsidize my batteries back when I had 3 155 amp hours instead of 7 155 amp hours batteries. And like I said, they're AGM. I would only need 4 if I went lithium, but I don't have the $3,500 to $4,500 in cost. So I'm gonna live with that. So basically, but just to restart the display, I'm just recharging it back. I did it, kept it out there for about 2 or 3 hours in a cloudy day, just to see if it can just subsidize my energy just for a period of time. And then later I went out, flipped down my panels. You might have seen it in some of my previous videos. So I got getting full sunlight. So, you know, at best I'm getting full sunlight to the side, almost full sunlight to the top, almost about 1,000 watts just from those two sides. Not taking consideration the back or the other side. So I've kept those up, but I can just flip those down and get a little bit more ambient light as well. Just running some tests just for the heck of it. But this thing is charging its butt off in a hurry. It's up to 29%. The reason I got the EFDelta is not only the fact it's got a lot of power, it's very fast to recharge. So I went from 11% to 19%, and I might have been doing this 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And so in another hour to hour and a half, it's going to be fully charged back to 100%, and I can store it back in my van. So when I need to get something to just sort of tide me over through a cloudy day, to make sure I don't get in any danger, or if I'm in a day where I would like to run the AC at least a little bit, I can use this to subsidize and make sure I never fall down to the danger zone. So I just want to give a quick look at this EFDelta. It's going to be my video for the day. It's just 2 parts, and I will get this back out. And what have I got else coming? What else have I got coming? I got a few more things coming, and I'll be talking about those. Like I said, my van is basically back to roadworthy and living worthy now. I did clean it up a lot, and I'll show you that on